So here I have my piece of a cluster of chains crocheted with beads, and they are connected at the same time at two ends with also with chains and slip stitches. And how to do this I'll show you on a very small piece. And so how I will use it in the future, I kind of know about it, but still I have some other ideas, so we will see. And probably you will find a way you will connect this to your necklace. This can be already as a nice bracelet if you wish. So there are a lot of possibilities with that. So how to make this? So first of all, you have to thread the beads on your thread. I use Aunt Lydia's number 10. And you will have to add all your beads that you have in the tube. I buy the beads in the tubes like that. And the beads that I have here, 3 millimeters approximately they are, they also came in a tube like that. So the entire tube of all beads I threaded on the thread. And the first thing, I will make this small piece right here. It can be longer, can be shorter. I think longer probably will be better. You never know. So, but I will cover this with some metal embellishment, something I will attach to this piece that it will not be visible. So at first I will make this chain. My chain will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can be 6. Let's do 6. And I'm going back and crochet slip stitches. This will be that little piece. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's it, like that. This short tail we can hide some time later. And now I will add beads as I go. All of my chains are different. You can make them all the same. They are the same length, but I place the beads in a different time, in different distances, so that they will not be, when you put them together, your cluster, they all will be in a different place in a cluster. But you can crochet exactly the same way each chain. So let's do probably at first chain will be, we'll start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and on the 9th I will add beads, 1 bead, and again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm sorry. On the 9th I have to add, right? And I have to add 1 bead. Bead always go on the back of your work, and you add the beads. And so on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I add the bead. I will not crochet all this long piece. I will show on a small piece how I do this connecting things. So right now I am finished. For example, it's a long chain, but we will have it short. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I forgot how many chain I made here. 7, 8, 7, 8 also, right? And so we have this length, the same distance here and here, and then I make another piece like that, another piece that I call connecting piece, to which we connect each chain. So again, this chain will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and going back, making slip stitches. There will be 5 stitches, slip stitches into the chain of 6. 2, 3, 4, and 5. So here they are, those small pieces right here. This looked to me a little bit longer, so I'll just add one. I think I messed up somewhere, but you count your stitches. If one stitch less or more, it's not going to be a big problem, but it's nice to count. So I have what I have. I have the first thing, the first step, connecting beginning and end, and to those two ends I will crochet chain back and forth, and every time I finish the chain I connect to that little chain here. I go back another chain and connect here, and you can go back and crochet as many chains as you want. I made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cluster of 6 chains. I think it's enough. You can make more. You can make for example, at the beginning of your chain and at the end of chain, beads and nothing in between to make a knot. It's easier to tie them in a knot when you don't have any beads, but we can try, you know, we can twist them like this and try to make a knot. Looks nice actually. So where this thread came from here. Looks nice. So I actually looking for idea of adding knots into the project somewhere like that. So I guess we can go with beads all throughout. So let's continue. So I have the beginning and the end connecting, I don't know even how to call this piece, connecting pieces to which we connect chains. Now we're going back and the same way. So we had 8, 8, 8, 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 times 8, right? And we will do the same thing, how many chains we need. But we don't have to go and make exactly the same way, the same distance. This time I will add, and I will do it this way. I will make 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I will add beads every 5th chain. So chain 4, 5th is your bead. 1, 2, 3, 4. Adding a bead. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're adding the bead. I never crocheted with beads before. It takes time to learn. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually like this, and adding the beads. You can actually add 2 or 3 beads together at the same time if you wish. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5th your bead. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and adding the bead. And make sure you are not exceeding the number and the chain is not too long. It seems to me I have to connect already. Actually, I can make few more stitches. 1, 2. Yes, and I can connect to the small piece right here. with a slip stitch. Every time you come here, you connect with a slip stitch. Slip stitch, and again adding, making a new chain. This time let's do 6 or something, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and start adding beads. Your 7th will be your bead. So how often you will add beads, it's up to you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7th is your bead. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4. You have to have handy beads right here in your hands. 4, 5, and 6, and your 7th is the bead. And continue crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and your 7th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7th is adding the bead. I guess you have to crochet a lot with beads to be more comfortable with them. And make sure that your chain is the right length to attach. If you like, it probably will be easier to weave in this end, inside this little end, because this thread kind of on a way. So let's see, we can add this to this knot. Yes, so I added my bead, and actually I will make one more chain, and I will add and connect to another small piece right here to this end. Find some place and attach with a slip stitch. And this time we will go and make a little bit more often chains. Let's add right away. No, I will not add right away. It's not going to work really well here. 1, 2, and 3. 4th is your bead. 1, 2, 3. And 4th. You can see, those of you who crochet with beads will probably laughing at me how I do that. 1, 2, 3, and the 4th is your bead. There are some things I'm good at and some things I'm not. This is the first time I'm adding beads like that. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I'm sorry, 3 and 4th is your bead. One, 2, 3. The 4th, adding the bead. 1, 2, 3. Adding the bead. 1, 2, 3. Adding the bead. 1, 2, 3. Adding the bead. And see if I'm ready to connect. I guess without the bead now. This time we will just make 1, probably 2, and see if the chain is long enough to attach. Probably 1 more stitch. And adding again, connecting to the area here, right there, with a slip stitch again. I think I connecting to the stretched stitch, so I will do this way, like that. And this time I will finish one more slip stitch. I will cut my thread like that. So let's assume I'm done. Those ends can be weaved in your work or right away or at the very end. Sometimes I leave them on purpose because they will help connect to the other piece of my project, so I will leave mine alone. And so a lot of things you can do with this. You can twist or leave it like that and attach to your project. Or like as I showed you, make a knot here. So it's up to you. So we will see what will happen with this project, because I'm improvising and I really don't know how this will look like yet. But this is the first idea of the piece that I will add to my project. Enjoy!